first grade. This week we are going to continue our focus on telling and writing time from analog and digital clocks to the nearest 5 minutes in both AM and PM. And if you remember, we discussed that in the AM, that's the morning hours, whenever things happen. The PM starts at 12 noon and goes all the way past when you go to bed. Okay, so there are 24 hours in a day. And if you remember, I said that our day is split up in 12 hours. 12 hours in the AM, and then add another 12 hours and 12 hours in the PM, which gives us 24 hours in a day. So we're going to continue that focus today. And we're talking about the hour, telling time to the nearest hour, as you just saw in your video on BrainPop. Well, I also wanted to introduce, just like we've learned with money and length in the last few weeks, we can also use what we know about length and what we know about time, and we can use time in story problems too. So, you'll hear it, you're comparing 2 times during a day or 3 times in a day, and you're asked to solve a problem. Okay, so you can solve a problem using your hour and your minutes on your digital clock, or you can solve it using your hours and minutes on your analog clock. So let's take a listen, let's take a look at a story problem using time. So again, let's visualize what's going on in our problem. Erica goes to art at 9 a.m. So just think, she's in school at 9 a.m. and we know that's in the morning, and she's going to art class. She goes to lunch at 1 p.m. So now she's going to lunch. Think. Okay. How long does she have to wait to go to lunch? So now we're comparing 2 times. We're comparing when she goes to art, and I'm underlining it, at 9 a.m. Then we're comparing that she goes to lunch at 1 p.m. So we notice in the morning she goes to art. In the afternoon she goes to lunch. Okay, so how long, we have to calculate how long does it take her until she has to go to lunch? How long does she have to wait? All right, so all of a sudden I think, what do you think we'll do? Do we add? Do we subtract? Well, we can do it a couple of ways, but all of a sudden I'm visualizing, in order to calculate this, I'm thinking of a number line. And you've used a number line many times in the strategies that you've been using to calculate problems. So I wrote down her times that we're comparing, and I'm going to draw me a number line. And I don't need to fill in this number line with all the numbers from 1 to 20, or whatever we see on the 100 chart, or the 100s 20 chart. All I need to do is start at 9 o'clock and see how long it takes to get to 1 o'clock. So we can count up, and basically we're counting up on the number line. So let's make our mark for 9 and make our mark for 1. And let's fill those in. Will you count with me? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. I'm going to fill those in. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Okay, so let's go ahead and plot our 9 o'clock. And we're going to jump forward to get to 1 o'clock. So will you count with me? Ready? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Slant line, just like we do in class to show that arrow. We landed at 1. Now let's use our one-to-one correspondence. 2 counts to make how many hours? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many hours did she have to wait? She had to wait 4 hours. All right, and I'm going to write that in sentence form. She had to wait 12 hours until lunch. So today, first grade, in your activity sheet, you will have to calculate a few problems where you're comparing 2 times and what would be the time in between. So you can either count up, and I know you do use mental math, count up on your fingers, but I also want to see what's going on in your brain, how your brain is solving that. So please show it in your workspace on how you're figuring that out. If you want to use an equation, that's fine. This equation could be a couple of things, but you could have added or you could have subtracted to find that out. But the number line helps you see and visualize if you're counting up or if you're counting back, and then solving your, so that's the strategy that we use today. Okay? All right, happy math, first grade. Bye.